Welcome to the RS2G podcast, where I motivate, inspire listeners by discussing failures, success, and the journey of a rebirth. If you are someone who wants to hear the honest truth from a host that puts his right hand to God, as I interview people who have built empires and sometimes watched them crumble as their lives have taken an unexpected twists and turns, this podcast is for you. Life is not always easy. And as a combat military veteran, active military for 14 years, I know about sacrifice and facing fears and true loyalty. I can't wait to take you on this rebirth journey with myself and my guests as we discuss life and living with your right hand to God. Boom.
It's a capsule.
Welcome to the RH2G podcast, where we inspire and motivate and hustle. And I got a special guest today, Akeem, man. I appreciate you just popping up, man. How you doing, man? Can you tell the world who you are?
Well, first, I'm doing good, man.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll be watching your YouTubes and everything, and I'm like really happy that I'm here.
Definitely.
But for the people who don't know who I am, my name is DaleY from Bronx, New York.
Okay.
I'm a recruiter at TamPa in Wesley Chapel.
Okay.
So that's what I do.
Recruiter for the United States Army, man. That's big.
Yep.
That's big. I felt your energy when we was in the room the last time for the Army Q event that they had. I think was that in July?
That was July. Yeah, July.
July. So we saw each other. We was there for a marketing scheme, and we saw what the Army needed, man. And I saw you, and I was like, you know what? I can work with him. I got something special. But, you know, I'm glad you're here today. We made time. And God is good, man. I just wanted to have a good conversation,
always.
man, just to let the world know who you are, man. So, like, where you came from. Who are you at your core? You know what I'm saying?
So, like I said, from Bronx, New York, right? Background is Jamaican.
Hey, Jamaican too?
Oh, you Jamaican?
Yeah. Yeah, my mom. I'm just from Long Beach, so you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So my parents are Jamaican.
Okay.
Both. I lived there when I was young.
Okay.
Came back here, so New York through and through.
Okay.
I've been in the Army for 12 years now.
12 years, okay.
12 years now. Original MOS, 88 Mike, so truck driver.
Truck driver, yes.
You know, like the Uber of the Army.
Yeah, No, I got it. Yeah, definitely.
Nothing move until we move it.
Yeah.
So, and now I've been recruiting for a year now.
Yeah.
I love it.
Man, you being so modest, man. You are the #1 recruiter in Tampa. I saw that. I looked you up. You're the #1 recruiter, man. How are you doing this, and why, and getting these kids and understanding? How are you relating to them? Because that's what my podcast is all about.
Okay.
It's for the youth. Okay. It's to inspire them, to let them know they can do what they can do. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much negativity going on in this world, and we're closer to the election, so it's getting more negative with a lot of crazy stuff. How are you, as Sergent DaleY, relating to these kids to get them situated into the United States Army?
So two things, I got to just do a quick little shout out.
Yeah, go
First,
ahead.
I got to shout out God.
Hey, let's give it right there. Look at the camera right there. You know.
Without God, I'm nothing.
Definitely.
I can't do nothing without him. He strengthened me.
Yeah.
So that's one.
Definitely.
And then my family, my wife and my daughter.
Man, shout out to your wife and your daughter.
They give me the motivation, and they give me everything that I need to help and assist.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to talking to kids and trying to mentor kids and motivate kids, I was them.
Yeah.
So I know what it feels like. I grew up in the hood, the same thing. So I've never really changed my core beliefs and everything. Like, I just elevated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So I understand what they're going through. I understand their pain, their struggle.
Right.
So I can really talk to them in a different lighting than my counterparts.
Right.
So when I talk to these youth, I'm really trying to inspire them, motivate them, show them things that I didn't know.
Right.
So like about credit, about businesses, or just being in the right room, or how to conduct yourself. So that's what I really try to allude to.
Yeah, man, relationships. And I love it too, because I tell people all the time, you can't teach nobody about something that you don't know.
Right.
And I always say this term, you can't sell me a Mercedes if you never drove one.
Right.
So it's a lot of that going on, right? So it's a lot of people, like right now, and I'm not taking no shots, but the United States military paid, I think, $11 million to The Rock to go deliver a message to our youth about recruiting, right? Okay, that's a wrestler. That's an actor, right? So in our mind, someone was a fan to do that, but why not go get a bunch of veterans that was there before that time to go recruit these kids that look like these kids, right? You look like, so I would talk to you because you look like me. You got the hat on, you know what I'm saying? Smile, all that stuff. You got the charisma. And that's why I try to tell people on my level, on my podcast, that I'm only talking to the people that want to relate and look like me, because I'm in a field where I'm getting my doctorate. And if you look at me, I don't look like I'm supposed to get my doctorate. But I said, you know what? Why not? Because on that movie, The Green Lantern, there was a bunch of Green Lanterns. There wasn't only humans. There was a roach Green Lantern. There was a lizard. It was everybody. So I feel like that we can relate in that aspect. And I love the fact that you are doing that and talking to these kids about that stuff, because, you know, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? Relating to these kids and letting them know. So can you tell me how you are really out there on the forefront? Like, what do you do? What is your tactics?
So my biggest message is like, why not you?
Yeah.
Why not me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I can feel it, touch it, see it, let's go get it.
Yeah, exactly.
So my biggest thing that I try to do is I'm big into sports. So I play basketball.
Okay.
So that is probably my main market.
Okay.
I go to the park, I play basketball with these kids, and then, you know, I start easing my way into talking about like, hey, so what you doing?
Right.
Or I go to these, you know, Publix or any stores and I'm seeing a kid push a cart or whatever, and he's frustrated or whatever. So I just pull him to the side and I just try to talk to him, not on some I'm trying to recruit you, but what is your plan?
Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
Okay.
So, and the biggest thing is I recruit out of uniform.
Okay.
Because I've noticed when I recruit in uniform,
The pushback.
The pushback is crazy.
Right.
Your wall is up. I'm trying to sell you something.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But if I'm dressed like this
Right.
and I'm more comfortable like this, I can have a one-on-one conversation with you, and then I can slide in. Yo, you know I'm a recruiter, right?
Right.
Oh, for real? Yeah.
I love that tactic. I love it.
You see what I'm saying?
You come as you are.
Exactly.
Right. And that's the only way I think as humans we can deliver that message is be organic.
It's
be
easier.
authentic. Like, you got to be authentic of yourself, who you are. I would listen to you if you dressed like this, but if you came to me in a uniform and it was back in the day, if it was before the situation, I'd be very like hostile. Like, what's going on? Why are you here? You coming to pick me up? What we doing? You know what I'm saying? We going to war or what? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same way because even when I'm in school,
Right.
So I'm in the school, and what I do is I don't do your regular just set up your lunch table or nothing. I'm walking around the cafeteria. I'm joking with them. I'm clowning them. I'm doing the regular things that a high school kid would do because I remember being a high school kid. I remember being in lunch like, look at this recruiter. Ain't nobody gonna talk to him. That's corny. Da 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 da. So I understand that because that was my mentality as a kid. So now I know I gotta come to you on a different note and kind of like really come down to your level and be like, what's good? Like, what you trying to do?
I love that too. You know what I'm saying? Because you're relating to them.
I'm trying to relate to you.
And that's the biggest thing right now is I told everybody, I said, after this year, I want to start a tour that's called Save Our Babies. And it's organically just going to these schools with people like yourself, recruiters, people that got credit checks, motivational speakers, and pump these kids up. Because this social media, music is staring them down the wrong path. And in the next 20 years, we won't have the people like our parents that's leading the way. We're going to have people that's unsure and, oh, let me find it on Google. You know what I'm saying? Back in my day, we had a map and a pen. You know what I'm saying? And we can, hey, listen, if we don't get it on Siri, we got to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we got to get these coordinates. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that in order to get these coordinates right for the youth and change the algorithm, it got to come from people that look like us, but also be the message to bring. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are that message. That's why you're here today, and I wanted the world to hear your story. You know what I'm saying? Tell your message. What as a kid, how were you before the military? Tell us.
I ain't gonna lie, I was bad.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I was terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't see myself being in anybody's military. I thought I was gonna join the NBA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Would you play the one or the two?
The one.
Okay.
You couldn't tell me anything. Every time you see Keem, I got a basketball with me.
Yeah.
So like, regular typical kid. You know, I go to class. I want to be the class clown.
Yeah.
Then I want to be the flyest. I want to be the one to get all the girls and all the things. So I really just didn't have a path.
Right.
I just thought basketball.
Right.
But, growing up, all you know is sports.
Right.
No one tells you, like, hey, you can go into stocks.
Right.
You can do this. You can do this.
Yeah.
You just know sports. That's the only message that's the pipeline.
Right. To get out the hood.
To get out the hood.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just, it's sports or sell dope.
That's it.
You don't got no other option.
That's it.
You know what I mean? So the military was the last thing.
Right.
Because I thought that was just like the corniest thing in the world. I'm not going to lie to you.
I ran from it. I did. I ran from it, man. My dad tried to put me in the Navy twice after high school, and I ran from it until I went to jail. And when I got to jail, 2 weeks later, I was in the ArMy after 9/11, and I didn't look back. but it was God had a plan.
It was the same for me. So I went to college, went to Morrisville State College.
Yeah.
I did 1 semester, got kicked out, right? Still young boy mentality, just doing stupid stuff, got kicked out. My mom, she was just like, you got 1 month. You better figure something out. So I'm like, all right, cool. I started shopping. I was downtown shopping, and then I got a gig to be a Hollister model. So I was a Hollister model for a while.
Hollister back in the day, yeah.
Hollister back in the day was legit.
It was cracking,
it was legit.
Fitch, Hollister,
yeah. So I was a Hollister model, walking around with the little flip flops and stuff like that, and it was cool for a little bit. And then like one day, I just remember just being in the projects, just looking at everybody drinking on the block, doing the same thing, and I was like, nah, I gotta change it up. Like being in Hollister was cool because it opened my eyes to see a different lifestyle because I was downtown Manhattan, which is completely different.
Right.
So that's when I start to think like, okay, there is more than just my block.
Right.
Than the Bronx.
Right.
So then I literally just walked into the recruiting station and talked to the recruiter who been trying to get me for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, man, I'm ready to go. I don't care what job it is, whatever you want.
Yeah.
I need to go.
What year was this?
2012.
Okay.
2012.
Okay. Trying to see where I was at in 2012. I think I was in Korea. Yeah. I was in Casey. Camp Casey.
I was in Casey.
Yeah, I did Casey. I was at a Manchu.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did the Manchu Mile and stuff. But that's crazy, man. Keep going. My bad.
I
just started reminiscing.
No, you good. It happens.
Yeah.
So 2012, joined 88 Mike, went to Fort Leonard Wood, Lost in the Wood, what they call it.
Yeah.
And first duty station was Louisiana.
Fort Polk.
Fort Polk.
They got a training facility there.
Yes, JRTC.
That's all I know about is
JRTC.
JRTC. But I heard if you go there as a regular, it's like you sit there to die, probably.
It sucks. It sucks so bad.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna lie, I was constantly getting out. I was done with the Army. Cause you got to think about it. Coming from New York, my first time leaving the city.
Yeah, they sent
to
you
go
to the country,
all the way to the country.
the deep country,
Deep country.
deep.
The only thing I knew about Louisiana was Mardi Gras, New Orleans, and Popeyes.
Yeah,
that's it.
You didn't even know they had a Fort Polk.
No, I didn't. I didn't even know they had all that.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I'm looking, no buildings, no nothing to do. It's hot. I'm just like, man, I can't do this.
I can't be stationed here.
Nope. And then I had this one leader, I would never forget him, Sergent Maldonado. He was from LA.
Okay.
Mexican dude. He probably like 5'5".
Short. I know
Short,
Maldonado. Yeah.
Tatted.
Yeah.
Everything looked just like me, right?
Yeah.
So he came to me. He was like, "Man, you got so much potential. Why are you wasting it?" I was staring down at Article 15. So for those who don't know what Article 15 is, I pretty much got in trouble.
Yeah, go ahead, educate us. Let us know. Bring us back. Yeah. Article on the red carpet. Yeah.
So I got in trouble a couple times. First time was I couldn't wake up. I just kept sleeping in all the time, so people used to have to come get me to wake me up and stuff like that. So I was on extra duty a couple times for that. And then just doing knucklehead stuff
I was a knucklehead.
As
definitely.
a private, just doing dumb stuff with your boys, trying to make people laugh and all that thing. And all that stuff start catching up to me because I'm getting these counseling statements. And now they're like, hey, man, we're going to push an Article 15 on you. You know, remove your rank, probably trap you out. But back then, scare tactics work.
Okay.
You know what I mean? They can just tell you, hey, go paint this rock or go paint this wall for 24 hours. And it's like, that's your punishment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Days,
so, like, that was just a scare tactic for me to get me to be like, all right, let me get my stuff together. And then they brought me to Maldonado, and he brought me to his house. I'll never forget this. He brought me to his house. He's like, hey, you drink? I think I just turned 21. Yeah, 21. He's like, you drink? I'm like, nah. He's like, well, you drink today. And I'm like, all right, bet, when in Rome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So boom, we drinking and we just having a real conversation.
Right, like this.
And he's just like, yo, bro, like, you think I want to be doing all this stuff too? Like, yo, this is how I feed my family. This is this and this and this. This is what I got. Yo, you don't want this? Boom, boom, boom. And he's just like bringing me around and he's bringing me to new people and he's just having a conversation with me. And then I realized, like, man, we're all alike.
Right.
We are from different places.
Yeah.
But the values and the beliefs are very similar.
The Army know how to pick them, right? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They know exactly what they look for.
So we talking and I'm just starting to realize, like, you know what? This ain't bad.
Right.
I'm just playing the wrong game.
Right.
I'm playing checkers. Y'all playing chess.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he really just started volunteering me for everything. So my nickname was DaleY Do.
Yeah.
It was DaleY Do everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there was a class, DaleY would do it. There's a detail. DaleY will do it. So I got to the point that I'm in the grind.
Yeah.
Everything. That's all I'm doing is work, grinding, and I got addicted to being the best.
Talk about it.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you learn how to do that with sports, right? You want to be the best with sports and stuff like that, but people don't really know how to translate that into your everyday life,
right,
into anything else, because it's like you just know how to be the best in one thing.
Right.
But once I learned how to use that same energy into other things that I'm doing, that's when I started to know that I was changing.
He pulled it out of you. He knew exactly.
He did.
God sent that to you.
He did.
That's dope. Because, you know, and that's a mentor.
Yeah.
That's someone who cared for you. To say, hey, look what I got. You can have it too. Let me show you how. And, you know, and that's very rarely. Tell him, shout out to Sergeant Maldonado. I think if he showed me a picture, you might be the same guy. Was he at E6 at the time?
Nah, he was E5.
Okay, so E5. I might know him. You might have show a picture. Short Maldonado from LA. I know a guy like that. He was at Blizz, Korea, Germany. So I know a guy like that. But shout out to him because those mentors. I tell people all the time, your mentor finds you.
Yep.
You could pick who you want to be your mentor, but your mentor because it's tailored to you. Because I tell people all the time, Nipsey said it the best. He said the only reason why I tripped on other gangsters because they look like me. There you go. That's the algorithm right there. That's who it is right there. Anybody else, I'm not gonna trip on because they don't know this type of action. Right. But if you see yourself in a mirror reflection, why not help yourself? So he helped himself by helping you because somebody probably did that to him. And this was what we're doing on this podcast right here. Because some kid is gonna hear it and be like, I know Sergeant DaleY. Oh, I'm in the Army because, you know, that gives you goosebumps for somebody to tell you, hey, Sergeant McIntyre, I'm only here because of this. Because I used to get it all the time.
Right.
I'm doing this because of this. Thank you. And now I get it all the time. Hey, JR, man, I appreciate it. Little things. Because sometimes we don't take the time to even, you know, acknowledge ourselves. So I'm going to give you a hand clap for that, man. Because we don't tell each other as men, as black men, as veterans, hey, I'm proud of you. Keep going. Because at the end of the day, I'm done with my service. You getting it cracking right now. But we all in it for one thing, to save the youth. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that gives me chills because at the end of the day, we go through that, but nobody really takes the time in a fast-paced day to say, you know what, man, I'm proud of you. Keep grinding because you might have to talk to my kid. I got an 18-year-old. I got a 23-year-old. I got a 13-year-old. You know what I'm saying? They might not want to hear it from me. They might want to hear it from you. But how can we work collectively as veteran and active to save this United States military, period, in this world to let them know, hey, kids, do something with your life. Do not do nothing. Do something. Everybody has a gift. And that's what you're doing is going around because you might save a kid's life, put him in the military, and he come back and he be the president of the United States.
Right.
Sergeant DaleY did that for me.
You know what's so funny, right? I just thought of something real quick. The message, right? Mm-hmm. It's all about the message.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes it is the person, the delivery. So I give you an example. My dad was trying to get me to do the military the whole time. I was like, nope, not doing it. My brother, my sister went Navy. He's like, all right, you got to go. I'm like, nah, I'm not doing it. So what he did was he reached out to my brother-in-law, my sister's husband. He was in the Navy. He looked like me, dressed like me, talked like me. He's from Queens. So he'll bring me to play basketball. He'll bring me on the ship. You know what I'm saying? Well, he'll bring me to like a little club. And then my brother would do the same thing. And I'm like, wait. Y'all could do all this in the Navy?
Yep.
I thought it was like kind of like jail, you know what I mean? And he was like, nah, man, you could do it too. Mm-hmm. And that's when I was like, all right, I'm really going to do this. Yeah. And then years later, my dad, I was getting promoted to E6, I believe. And my dad was like, hey, you know I'm the reason why you joined, right? I'm like, what you talking about? He was like, I sent him to you because you wasn't listening from me.
Right.
So I had to get somebody who you can relate to.
Right.
To tell you the same thing that I've been telling you for years.
That's crazy.
And I was like, wow. So when you just said that, I just thought about that because recruiting is the same way.
Right.
Sometimes they don't want to hear it from your counterpart because they just don't relate to them. Right. But if they relate to you, they're all open to hear whatever you got to say.
And that's why I was talking to the Lieutenant Colonel, your Lieutenant Colonel Turkett, that we are the message we bring, but how about combining our forces as active and veteran? Because I'm what it looks like when you're done with the military. Mm-hmm. I done went through the entrepreneurship. I done went through the failures. I done went to buying my house with the VA. I done went to going through the disability. I done went through, you know what I'm saying, doing these situations, going to school. I'm on my doctorate. The GI Bill is paying 9 more months of my doctorate. So you can do it. So they just got to understand what it looks like after and before. And that you put us all together, we are before too. You know what I'm saying? So, and they will get it. And I'm excited to work on this mission with you guys and be one, because that's my heart. You know what I'm saying? I want to get these kids off the street. You know how many kids are dying every day because they're getting caught up in the bull crap? You know what I'm saying? They out there thinking that, you know what? You see this person that got 1 million followers, he says, do this, take lean. You're going to take lean. You're going to mess up your life? You going to do that? How about going to get an education? But right now, the narrative right now is, oh, we don't need education. Yes, you do. Education is not about how smart you are. It's consistency. Who stays the longest? I'm not getting this doctorate for me. It's for the next kid to say, you know what? Dr. McIntyre got it, but he wasn't always a doctor. He's JR. He's a hood motivator. He does this. He does this. He did this. He did this. Same with you.
Same thing.
And that's why our energy is alike. When I saw you, I was like, you know what? I got to get him on my podcast regardless, but not even knowing that all the circles were aligning to come to work together. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I already had talked to Lieutenant Colonel. You know what I'm saying? So he already knew what my angle was, and that's why I got brought there. Jimmy brought me there to say, hey, you know what? You do marketing. You got a big social media following. Come here as a veteran and see how we can help the Army. Boom, I'm there. And I met so many good people. My name is Dr. J.R. McIntyre. I'm a certified motivational speaker and a social media influencer, and I can't wait to teach you how to excel your real estate business on the LinkedIn platform. LinkedIn is actually the most underrated social media platform. In my class, Elevate Your Real Estate Success or LinkedIn Mastery, you will learn 3 key principles. Number 1, how to generate your high quality leads. Number 2, get personal branding and excellence. Number 3, strategic networking strategies. If you want to be a disruptor in the real estate industry, this class is definitely for you. I see you online and I can't wait to take your LinkedIn profile to the next level. JR out. Boom. I love it. And Jimmy said he's going to invite me to, I think next July is the Sigmas.
Yeah, Jimmy is a great dude.
Shout out to Jimmy,
man. Shout out Jimmy.
Yeah.
Jimmy is the best, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, I had told you before in speaking, I met Jimmy at the Steve Harvey camp for the youth. We went during Father's Day, so there's a lot of kids who don't have no father figures and stuff like that, so we have to mentor them, which I think you would be amazing for.
I would love it.
And I met Jimmy there, and we just hit it off just like that because he's from the Bronx too.
Yeah. He always wears his little New York hat.
Yeah. So I met Jimmy, and ever since then, man, we just been just like this. You know what I mean? He been putting me out. So shout out Jimmy.
Shout out to First Sergeant Jimmy. He's old school. Been around. I was in the Army with him. He led the force. He was one of the coolest first sergeants I saw.
I believe
before it was being cool, right? Then it was us, right? So it's us that made 7 and 7, and all we knew was deployment, but Jimmy made it look cool, and he never fabricated on what he did. He did his job. He was in combat, and he loved it. You know what I'm saying? And that was it. But guess what he did do? He brought a Ranger into this world. I think he's a major. His son is a major. Yeah, so shout out to him. He's at McDill. So at the end of the day, man, that's why it's a tribe. You know what I'm saying? I mess with Jimmy hard. You know what I'm saying? That's my dude. You know what I'm saying? I look up to him. We talk about a lot of businesses. He started his entrepreneurship business when he got out, and when I got out, I took answers from him and took little tidbits from him too. And that's how it should be.
It should.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But you know what's so crazy? Everybody don't have that though.
No, they don't.
That mentality to give back.
Yeah.
But it has to be something that's instilled in you. Mm-hmm. So, for example, for me, like I knew I wanted to be a recruiter.
Okay.
Because in the lamest terms, I like to fix puzzles.
Right.
Right. So if there's something that's broken, I want to take the challenge to fix it.
Right.
I can fix it.
Yeah.
So like my whole career, when I had soldiers, and they used to always give me the quote unquote bad soldiers.
Right.
Because they were like, Sergeant DaleY can fix it.
Yeah.
So my whole career has just been fixing puzzles.
Right.
So I always knew that I wanted to be a recruiter because I knew my message will be completely different than any other recruiter. Or the way I spin the same thing that you're trying to say is going to be completely different how I'm going to spin it.
Exactly.
So you can really understand it in hood terms.
Right. Articulate.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but it has to be something that's in you to want to help people.
Right.
Not everybody have that. We get successful, and then we get lost. Yeah. And we don't know how to give back, or we forget where we came from. Right. We forget that we were them. Yeah. Now we're looking our nose down at them like, oh, no, they need help.
This is our job. Know. Yeah, definitely. It's our job to do this. And I feel like, I tell people all the time, you can't wake up and say, I'm going to buy ambition, go to Walmart, go to aisle 7. I'm going to get ambition. You can't do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to already have that. God bless you with a good heart. And with having a good heart, I got a book coming out. It's called A Good Heart Don't Pay Bills. Sometimes you get effed over. And sometimes it does work out for our favor because we love everybody. We want to see everybody succeed. I don't want to be always at the top succeeding. I want everybody there. That's why I reached out. How can I help you? How can we make this work? How can we be that message? Because guess what? You might get 1 or 2 kids off this podcast that want to go to the military because of you, because of what you're looking like and what you're saying right now. Because you surprised them. Oh, I didn't, yeah. And when I tell people all the time, I was in the military, they're like, what? Yes. I served at the critical time. 55 months in combat, we got our butt handed to us, but this is it. You know what I'm saying? But now, what are we doing now? And I tell a lot of veterans all the time, oh, I used to be, or what I did, and what are you doing now? How are you helping the youth now? How are you helping yourself now? I got some awesome veterans that I know that ain't doing nothing. They're on the couch playing Fortnite. And I'm like, bro, we got to get off the couch. You got to do something. God has another purpose for you. But a lot of them are dealing with mental health, and that's my next issue. It's the mental health right now with our veterans, with our people that's still active in the military that done some stuff. How can we get to them to say, you know what? It's okay to raise your hand and say, you okay, but how can you help someone else? You know, because a lot of these kids recruiting, they are dealing with mental issues.
It's big.
Big.
You have no idea. Yeah. I think half of the people I talk to dealing with some type of
broken homes, all this stuff, and that's us. Mm-hmm. It wasn't cherries and ice cream when we came in.
Right.
My mother died of AIDS. You know what I'm saying? I was a crack baby. My mom was on drugs. Like I saw nothing but violence and gang violence and drugs and all that. I came in the Army broken, but guess what? What the Army needed at the time? Broken people. At that time of war, how can we go recruit to these urban areas? Who do we want? They want the guys and the girls that look like us that's going to go in and put their best foot forward. And guess what? We was the reason why they changed the tattoo policy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Our sergeant majors had tattoos all up and down their neck. Because guess what? They fought your wars. Y'all don't want us no more? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't do that to these people. They're going to have to rectify that tattoo situation because that's all we have. That's who the recruiting goes out to. We recruited to the people who look exactly like us.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And the ones that are made for the military, brother, sister, dad, uncles, all of them has joined, they're going to come in. That's tradition.
Those are given. That's a given. Those are given. Yeah. They're going to walk in regardless.
Yeah. You're going to find but you got to find your Easter eggs.
Exactly.
You got to find the ones that be like, I don't know. Yeah.
But those be the best soldiers.
The best.
The best ones.
Bro, you just said it. You was a fuck up. I messed up so many times in the military. I thought I was getting kicked out of basic training. I fought so much. Physically, I fought in Iraq. My first time made me hold the guy hand that I fought. Embarrassment, walking around 5 Summerall. Fighting. We had war. You fighting your bunkmate because he didn't want to wake up on time to go to the mission?
Yeah, but it get crazy. Basic training, I ain't gonna lie.
You know what I'm saying?
Basic training is a little static and basic. You know what I mean?
First I was like, hold his hand. Y'all walk around the fob all day. Embarrass me. I said, you know what, Jared, something got to change because I had a bad spirit. I was mean. I used to like to fight. So God had to change me, you know what I'm saying? And I was little, but I wanted to fight everybody because I was upset at everything, you know? And that's why I would think the Army changed me because it helped me regulate my anger. Mm-hmm. It did. So, and it made me to the person I am today. So I take my anger out now on the gym or martial arts or studying and doing it in a more positive, productive way. But the Army did that for me. The Army saved my life.
And it takes time.
Yeah.
You got to learn yourself. And the best thing, what I'd be telling kids, is you got to come out of your environment.
Yes. Get away from it.
You have to.
Yeah.
You got to take the blinders off.
Yeah.
I used to think New York was the greatest thing in the world. You couldn't tell me nothing better.
Yeah.
Hey, we going to the Dominican Republic. You going to come? Hell no, I ain't leaving this block. You crazy.
Yeah.
I got everything I need on this block. I'm straight. New York is the best.
Yeah.
When I joined the military, where you from? South Dakota?
Yeah.
Nah, trash.
New York. Yeah.
That's how I was. My first day basic training, I quit. My first day.
You quit.
I definitely quit. So, because they was doing things that I didn't know that they can do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I was like, I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah.
So, we're doing our little jumping jacks and they yelling at us and stuff like that. And I had a drill sergeant come to me. He tied my shoelace together. And then he took my duffel bag and he dumped it on the lawn. And he was like, all right, go get it. And I was like, yeah, you bugging. I was like, I'm not doing that.
Stop.
I was like, you bugging. I'm not doing. Matter of fact, put me back on this bus. I'm good.
Yeah.
Because that was my mentality. You know what I mean? And then, honestly, I had 3 drill sergeants talk to me. They pulled me to the back, and they was like, hey, man, you got to learn how to play the game. But everybody say that in the military.
Yeah.
It doesn't really resonate until you start to understand, right? So they're like, look, you got to play the game. It's only 9 weeks. This is what we got to do. You just got to conform. Just let that go. Like, let all that other stuff go. We're trying to help you. And
right.
So once they brought it down to a human level that I felt that they was talking to me and I can receive it, then I was like, you know what? All right, let's go back out here. If you want me to jump, flip, kick, whatever, all right, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
That's what it's all about, though. It's playing that game. I remember going through basic training and had the cattle car. And, it was day 0, scariest day of my life, because it was like, why is they doing all this crazy stuff? And I had braids, so I had to cut my hair day 0. And then, it's in the cattle car. It's hot. It's Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And then we get out on the drill pad, and they just attack me. And then, one of the drill sergeants from day 0 knew I was from Long Beach. So he's like, hey, we got one. We got Snoop over here. He think he want to be Snoop. He's from Long Beach. So here they come. Oh, where you from? Oh, now they speaking in lingo. I'm like, wait, what? I almost got out of military, man. Where you from? What you talking about? Like, what I'm saying? Where you from? And they getting with me, but then it was like, hey, they pulled me to the back. They was like, hey, man, you got to play the game, man. Ain't none of this going on here. Either you want to stay here or go back to the hood and die.
Yep.
And I was like, and gradually after that conversation and 9 weeks later, I'm getting in trouble and barely barely passing basic training. I made it. I'm here. I was one of the best soldiers in my unit. Got a Bronze Star. Served with a bunch of good dudes. Served my country the best way I could in combat. Lost a lot of good guys. Lost a lot of good guys after the war and suicide. So it changed my life. And I always say ArMy and prayer. Changed my life. Included with the gym, because after every mission, we would just go to the gym. On the fobs, and we didn't have no time to mourn, but that was our morning time. It's just, let's go to the gym at midnight, go eat midnight chow, go do this. So it helped me understand, and that was the phases that I needed, because there's several phases to make who I am now, but that was one of the phases, and I thank God for that. But it was hard for me to conform, but we did it, and it took a guy like you to get me in the military.
Right.
To recruit me to say, you know what, JR, you got 2 weeks, or are you going back to jail? You're going to the county jail. So I went in the ArMy, and the ArMy saved my life, man. And I thank the ArMy for that, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I want to tell the kids my story and my message, and I want to let them know, go do 4 years.
At least.
In 4 years, time will go by. You're going to see your same friends that are doing nothing. They're going to be in the same barbershop, getting their same haircut, doing the same thing. You ain't missing nothing. Go get it, and you come back, you got something to contribute.
Yep. I tell them the same thing. I said, listen, man.
I should be a recruiter, huh?
You should. You should.
Yeah.
I tell them the same thing.
Yeah.
I tell them do 3. I say do 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years.
That's it.
I said, by the time you come back, you still young enough to do whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do.
But I promise you that you're going to come back and you're going to want to continue. Or if you don't want to continue, you have built a structure for yourself and a foundation that now you're going to be off to bigger and better.
Right. And the ArMy's so good at what they do. Every 3-4 years, they're gonna offer you a bonus.
Exactly.
Every 4 years, I re-enlisted. Well, so you can re-enlist. I think I don't know. You better than me. The 3rd year before your anniversary of your 4th. So I re-enlisted 3 times downrange and got the biggest bonus and kept it tax free.
Yeah, I never got a bonus. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get a bonus joining, but downrange they get.
No, I'm saying like re-enlistment, but for 88 Mike, so there's a history known that we don't really be getting no bonuses. So I've watched a lot of people get.
You help people get bonuses, though?
Of course.
Yeah, look at that.
I always tell them on my applicant, I'm like, yo, can I get like 2%?
Yeah.
Just give me 2%. I'm good.
The cola going up.
Give me 2%. I'm straight.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just tell them do 3 years. Just do 3 years, and then one of my biggest thing is if we can get them a location, a duty station, what they want. I like really try to push overseas. And the reason why I do it is because when you go overseas, you have to conform.
Right, you got to. You by yourself out there.
You by yourself.
Man, I was in Germany. That was my first duty station, 3 years.
So you understand
Deutsch. I was had to speak German and everything.
So you understand.
Man, I know, yes.
So the reason why I say that is because when I went to Korea, it was just like,
what is this?
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know Korean. You know what I mean? I don't know. I got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I'm by myself.
Right.
I got to start all over. I have no friends, no nothing.
Right.
So I have to build my empire from scratch.
There you go.
And then while I'm doing that, you have to confine into the ArMy ways.
You got to.
Because you're overseas.
Man, and they got a different policy.
It's different policies.
You miss curfew, you gone.
Exactly.
You're done. You're getting everything took from you for missing curfew.
So I always tell my applicants, I'm like, if you have a chance to go overseas, it's better for you to go overseas. You're going to get all of the military experience in one.
Yes.
You're going to be in a new country, new environment. If you have a family, that's even a plus. Now your spouse can see new things, and what's going to start happening is like, you're going to go over there. Oh, I'm in Hawaii. Man, I've never been in Hawaii before. This is nice.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh, let's travel now. Let's do that. Now, once you start doing that and you take the blinders off, that's when you can look back and you could be like, wow, I did all this stuff. Right. I'm not going back to New York to do what?
Nah, I'm not, man. And every time I went on leave and came back, they were still doing the same thing.
I had a guy, man, from my hood. His name is Seth. I used to run home all the time. Every time I got to leave, I ran home because I wanted that gratification from my neighborhood. Yeah. Because I used to always feel like, why y'all don't really support me? I joined the military, but nobody showing me no love. But I got one of my homeboy, he in jail, and it's like, yo, free my man Mike. He, and I'm like, why he get so much love? I'm only a couple states away. Nobody check up on me, nobody nothing. So I used to always run home to get that, like, yeah, I'm still from New York. Yeah. Yo, I'm still down with y'all. You know what I mean? And I had one of my dudes named Seth. He pulled me to the side. He's like, why you keep coming here? I'm like, what are you talking about? This is where I'm from. He's like, go do something else with your life. He's like, you are past this now. Yeah. He said, go travel. Yeah. I'm like, travel? This is what I know. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then it took my wife, at the time it was my girlfriend, she took me to Vegas. I think it was Vegas for the first time. And it just blew my mind. Yeah. And I was just like, wow, there's
way more than this.
Yeah, there's better stuff to do than come to New York. Yeah. And ever since then, I go on at least 2 trips a year. Yeah. At least.
You got to.
And I would tell all my soldiers, applicants, like, go see the world, go travel. Get a passport, I promise you, it's going to change your perspective on life.
It will.
Go look how other people's living, and then come look at your situation. Right. And then now try to complain.
Right. And you know how many people that never leave the hood?
Yeah.
Never saw outside of Long Beach, Compton, LA, period.
I know California. People never left the Bronx.
New York. Yeah. Never left. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Never. And when you come, it seems different to them because they don't like different. So when you're talking about things they don't know, either they love you to a point to where they accept it, or do they start to get jealous of you?
Yeah, hate.
And I just talked about it on my Instagram. Jealousy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what humans do. It's like, you could do it too, though. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm telling you what I saw, and I'm telling you how to get there. You want to roll with me? I used to come back and take everybody shopping like I was an athlete. Like, I got paid millions of dollars. We go in the mall, the Lakewood Mall, and I had 10 of the homies, and I would buy everybody something. Because I had money like that coming from my deployments. One time I came back from the Iraq in 04, 05, I had 32 grand. I took everybody to the mall. I thought I was rich. You know what I'm saying? Because I saved all my money, and I got a re-enlistment bonus. So I was good.
You was good.
Yeah, and then I lived in the barracks in Germany, so I don't have no car. I don't need a car out there. Right. And I don't need a house. Right. So I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was like, hey, we running it back. So my next deployment was 15 months. I went broke. And then went back. So I thought that was a key to success was, hey, we keep going back to Iraq. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we taking a risk on dying because we go on missions every day, but I'm coming back with paper. Right. But that's still the wrong mentality because I tell people now as veterans, I say, yeah, you retired. You did 20 years, you did 10, you did 5, you got disability. I said, the government's giving you the disability. That's good. You hurt, you injured, take care of yourself. But if you still got 2 hands, 2 feet, and you got a good mind somewhat, go get a job because that disability, we're telling people right now that that's it. You don't have to do anything else. You're set for life. Go live and relax. Go get another job. Get off the couch and do something else. Put that disability away. Put it away for 10, 15 years and see how much you grow. So that's the stories I tell our veterans now. I said, you got out and you wasn't getting paid $4 grand a month, but you getting paid, so now you think you don't have to do nothing? Your wife busting her butt, or you taking care of your family and not doing anything, and nobody's doing anything, and you're not going to school. So, and that correlates to what we just talking about in the hood. We go back, and they think that we got everything. Mm-hmm. The hood think, oh, you rich. I'm not rich. I'm not rich. I am trying. That's it. I'm working. It look good. And I make it look good because of COLA. You know what I'm saying? Because of the basic housing allowance. You know what I'm saying? Because the military do take care of us. And that's a recruiting pitch. Like, you get married, the military will give you BAH. Right. What kind of job does that? None. What kind of job gives you free benefits? None. What kind of job say, hey, you know what? When you're done, I'm going to give you 36 months of education. None. Go get it. You know how many of our military personnel don't go to school? A huge percentage.
You know they're doing better with that now, though, because they're starting to force us to go to school. So you can't really get promoted without going to school.
Okay.
So they're forcing it in a way that now the younger generation are going to school because it's like you can't really get promoted. Right. You can't really pass 5.
But not even that too. You letting these guys get out and girls.
I have nothing.
And all they knew was the military. So you don't have no education. So and I'm gonna tell how the workforce work. You get out and you military. Yeah, we want to hire. We hire veterans. But you get to the point you hire veterans. You only are hiring them for entry level unless somebody knows you. But then what happens is when you beat that job market is when you have that veteran years and you have the education. But you know what hurts us more is when we continue to grow and we get to a job that really wants us and we got more credentials than the owner. Mm-hmm. So we still can't hire you because you're overqualified. So it still sucks. Mm-hmm. So how do we beat that? But what I still tell people, I said, no matter what, get your education the best route, be an entrepreneur, start something, work for yourself, put it out there because now you can tell your family, you know what, you served your country, you started a business, that's the American dream.
So add something to that too. We have this program called SkillBridge. I could attest to this program. Yeah. My soldier, he did 4 years, 88 Mike, 4 years. And he was like, all right, you know what? I did my time. I'm good. You know, it's not for everybody to do 20. Yeah. He went to SkillBridge program. He went to, I think it was for HVAC mechanic. Yeah, HVAC mechanic for 6 months. Army paid for his schooling, everything. Yeah. They lined him up with a job. He works at Fort Meade right now. Yep. He just bought his first house. He got his car. I just talked to him. Yeah. He comes to my house all the time. Yeah. He's living good.
There you go. See?
Army did that for him. Because he didn't know that's what he wanted to do. Right. But he did 4 years, figured it out, got some structure, figured out, okay, the military is not for me, but I'm going to use these tools, these assets, to point me in the right directions. Right. And now he's making, in Florida as an HVAC mechanic.
There you go.
It's hot out here. Yeah. You know what people need their AC?
Everybody, you know what I'm saying?
So he's making a killing.
And that's one of the best programs the Army did because I remember in 15, 16, they was doing the SkillBridge and everybody that was getting out, they was recommending them to go to this program that the VA hospital will hire you as soon as you complete this program. And they hired a bunch of veterans I knew for the VA hospital. Now these veterans have been in a veteran hospital for 10 years. Mm-hmm. VA plus retirement plus disability, you good. You did something with your life. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm proud of to say that the military has a bunch of things that I don't think society knows about that we need to have a voice like we're talking about right now. There's a bunch of programs that can help our veterans, our active soldiers, do what they have to do so when they prepare them, so when they do get out, they can land clean on their feet and move forward.
Even programs for spouses.
Come on, man.
So there's like no reason that you could be in the military and your spouse don't have a job.
Exactly.
Like they have programs for that now.
Definitely. I saw it. Yeah.
They have programs to, just like how we can go to school, they'll pay for your certs. Yeah. Certification. And you know certifications is gold on the outside.
That's how I got my PMP. So I went through the whole system. That's how I got my PMP. That's how I got my bodyguard certification. So when I got out, I was going strictly to do armed security. So when I got out, I went to 2 bodyguard schools. People don't know they have bodyguard schools. I went to a 30-day one and a 55-day one and learned how to be an executive protection agent, not no security at the club, a bodyguard with a suit on, radio, weapon, Krav Maga, all these things. So when you out there in the sector, and I did that for 10 years. I was a bodyguard, one of the best. I did Lil Baby, Da Baby. I did everybody in the hip hop I done. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I've been around that game. But then I started to say, you know what? They don't value us enough. Because you got me and guys out there that we served our country. We went to school to get these bodyguard certifications. We got these great opportunities, but y'all paying us late. Y'all not paying us on time. And on top of that, we educated. So if you take your status away and my status, I'm still on top of you. Right. So why are you underpaying me? You think I'm a janitor? You know what I'm saying? Right. So they paying you like that. You just like it's whatever. So I was like, you know what? Let me get away from that. And after my company fell, you know, I started to think. I said, how can I touch the kids and the veterans, the women's, to let them know, hey, this is what you can do, and that's what you see now. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
I'm a bunch of big failures just to see this positive motion, and I talked about it, and I wanted to bring you on just to show the world that, hey, world, look, this is what it looks like, and I'm so proud of you, and don't stop, and keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? And we should be able to say, you know what, let's help each other, and I commend you being a husband, great husband, commend you being a great father, a great soldier, and on top of that, man, you got my other homeboy that worked with you, Bar. He just got E7, right?
Yeah, that's my dog,
Bar,
man. That's my dog. We got some things cooking up. I'm proud of him because when I first met him, he was going through a lot of issues. Yeah.
a lot of issues. And I was one of the mentors to get in his ear and talk to him and help him. And I looked up this year, he got pent E7.
Yep.
I remember when he was at E3, E4, and I remember nobody was understanding him. And I'm so proud of him. And I wanted to get him on here, but I know he just had his 2 girls, and he's been going through a lot of situations. But I'm so happy to see that. I almost went to the ceremony, but you know what I'm saying, I missed it. So
yeah. That's my.
Are we trying to get him with you guys?
For sure.
Okay, we need him on there
Hey,
because he know TamPa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him to be a recruiter in TamPa.
Yes, I know.
We're trying to do a bunch of things right now with his network and everything like that. So,
yeah, definitely. You know me, ask him. You know, JR.
He told me about it.
Okay, yeah.
He told me.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I know him, man. I was bad back then.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm completely different now.
Yeah, he different. Yeah, but you know, he's a good dude, and Jimmy and everybody that you're surrounding yourself with, man. And I'm happy just to sit down here and talk to you on this day, man. You know what I'm saying? And let the world know, man. Let the kids know, man. A little motivation and tell them how to find you on your platform for recruiting and where you will be at next.
So where to find me at? So I'm stationed in Wesley Chapel. Recruiting station is right by the crates. If anybody know where the crates is, I think it's a big staple in Tampa. So I'm in the recruiting station right by the crates. You can follow me on Simply Keen _ on Instagram. I make a lot of social media jokes and skits and stuff like that. So that's where you can find me at. Or you probably just find me just walking around the street, man. I like to shop and do all that type of thing. So if you see me, just come say hi. We don't really have to talk military stuff, but whatever you want to do.
Definitely, man. And give us a little quote that you want to leave the kids, man, positive. Something that you just want to tell them that been on your heart.
So my biggest thing I always tell the youth, why not you?
Why not?
Why not you? It's simple. It's short. Okay, when you really think about it and you dissect what I'm saying, you're going to be like, yeah, why not?
Right. Exactly.
Why can't I be the president? Why can't I make it to the NBA? Why can't I run a 6-figure company or get this? Why can't I have a husband or a wife? Or why not me? No one is better than you. You just have to put the work in. That's all it is.
Speak life into them.
Ain't nobody better than you. You just got to put the work in and you got to be motivated.
Yeah.
And once you motivated and you put the work in, everything else is going to come to fruition. So why not you?
Definitely, why not? And I appreciate it, man. I want to see you August 24th at my Shake the Room conference. I would love if the military will let you set up a booth there. I have a lot of kids coming. And you can set up a booth, and you can dress how you dress, and you can recruit the kids. You can see what I put on, and I would love the military. Like I said, Lieutenant Colonel Turkett, me and him, is going to get together. I would love for the Army to be a part of a lot of things I got going on, and I would love to be a part of the Army, too, that what they got going on as part of their recruiting processes. So I'm telling the United States Army, I want to be a part of it. I talked to Lieutenant Colonel Turkett. I want to be a part of the new recruiting system. How do we get these kids turned over into the military to understand that no matter what, go do? Because other countries make these kids serve 3 years automatically, 3-4 years, and when they get out there, better people. You're not going to change. Kid, look at me. You're not going to change. You're going to become better. People tell you, did the Army change you? Did you become a robot? No, I'm the same JR. I just got educated. I got smarter. I understand my life lessons, and I understand my PCCs and PCIs, my pre-combat checks and my pre-combat inspections. Understand that with life, and that you could change your algorithm. And that's my life lesson to these kids. Change your algorithm, change your life. And that's how it is, man. And I thank you again, man. I love you, proud of you, man. And let's keep pushing, let's keep moving on.
For sure.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, bro.
When you tell the truth, they so mad. You know what I'm saying?
It's a capsule.
They're mad cause he told the truth. That's why they mad. They're mad cause he wanna be